20,000 subscribers. 20K. I'm at a loss for words, guys. Honestly, I am absolutely at a loss for words. I seen it creeping up. Had that video ready to go, and it hit this morning. And I'm like unbelievably humbled by seeing numbers like that. And it's all thanks to you guys. I definitely appreciate everybody that's been a part of the show. Everybody that's been on, everybody that's helped behind the scenes. I can't even begin to name them all. I mean, the sponsors, Rockin' Oddities, Yin Yang, Peace on Earth. I just everybody. King's Inn, you guys have been all supportive. Ralph, I mean, been my right hand man ever since we started this crazy shit. And I can't begin to thank you guys enough, man. I'm a little choked up by it, guys. You guys got me. You guys got me good. 20 grand. I mean, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going until we get canceled, kicked off, or, bought out. The price is like, I don't know, $5 million, right? You want to buy the show? $5 million, all yours. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You gonna see me cry? You know what? You got to come pinch my ball bag or something if you want to see me cry. That'll do it. But no, I get a little emotional with this, man, because it's like, I don't know. Ever since I retired, this has been like, and it's not even a job. I can't even call it a job, because if it was a job, I'd hate it. It's just something that I love to do, and it's something that's fun and probably keeps my sanity, I would say, a little bit anyway. But it's just an amazing feeling, and you guys are all a part of it. All of you guys together have done this. I couldn't have done it without any of you, and I appreciate you guys. I do. I really do. It's been unbelievable so far. Keep going. We're just going to keep going. And yeah, listen, I got a smile on my face for many reasons these days. This is just one of them. And not the biggest one, might I add. That's another story. Anyways, let's get to show business.
And then, see, now you're just trying to make me cry or blush, dude. Stop it. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, I don't believe that, but I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a way of being creative. It's a way of kind of venting a little bit sometimes. It's sort of therapeutic, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, before I can't do this anymore, I lose my sponsors. Let's get to them because they're a big part of it. They're a huge part of it. Starting off by our good friends over there. I always fucking miss that. I'm always back here. So I'm starting off with our good friends at the Yin Yang Festival. Listen, you take rock and oddities, you take mind, body, soul, and you just mash them two together, mix them up a little bit, shake them like, bartenders are like, they always smile when they do it, shake it up, pour it in a cup, and you get Yin Yang Festival. I'm stalling so that I can find my graphics, guys, because they're all over the place. Because somebody can't stop fucking drawing. I'm kidding. There it is. Yin Yang Festival, guys. Listen, this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's tell you a little bit about it. Rock and Oddities, Mind, Body, Soul collide for this big event, October 26th at the Saratoga Springs City Center. Not only will there be vendors, but bands as well. Vinyl Vault, No Such Thing as Ghosts, Psychomanium, Against the Rain, Jupiter Queen, The Hauntings, Uncle Sam and the Erotics. Acoustic performances are also going to be there by Aaron Powers and the Jeffrey Scott Acoustic. Bands are $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Listen, get your tickets now, guys. They're available. They're out there. Go check them out on Facebook. All right. Just go to Facebook, Yin Yang Festival, easy to find. And there's going to be all the information you need on there to grab your tickets. All right. And also go check out Mind, Body, Soul too. Show them some love. Do the follow thing. You know what I mean? Show them a little bit of love. Mind, Body, Soul. You guys can find them on Instagram at Mind, Body, Soul Expo _NY and on on Facebook at Mind, Body, Soul Expo. Easy peasy. All right. Go show them some love because they definitely help us out a lot. Oh, that's still up there. Whoops. Maybe I'm not as good as you say I am at it, dude. I keeping the graphics card on my face. Might not be a bad thing. You know what I mean? Anyways, show Yin Yang some love and go check out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast. Oh, what did I do? Did I just go through and delete every? Oh, no, there it is. All right. Newest on board, our newest member of the Degenerate family, Peace on Earth. Let me tell you a little bit about Peace on Earth, all right? This is a great little place, guys. It is for all your smoking accessories, heady glass, vapes, CBD, and full spectrum Delta 9 products. It is a one-stop shop for all your smoking needs. Check them out on Facebook. Search Peace on Earth. Give them a call at 518-763-9694 or stop in and say hello. 4122 New York State Route 7 in Hoosick Falls. And from this show, we give them like you know how Yelp does 5-star ratings? We give them a 420 star rating. Do the math. Figure it out. Oops. God damn. I am bad at this. I should just fire myself. No? Maybe. Yes. No. King's Inn. Our good friends over to King's Inn, which is located at 6 McDonald Ave in Schenectady, New York. Great little hometown hang, guys. Wednesday evenings are always open jam night. Go in there. You're not just grabbing a mic at this point. You're grabbing a guitar. You're grabbing the drumsticks. Maybe a bass. Maybe a bass. They all do also have it. It is also a live music venue, so they do some shows on the weekends. King's Fest is coming up, and King's Fest is going to be an absolute fucking ripper. Where's King's Fest? Wow, these graphics are all over the place. There it is. 12 to 7 p.m. Saturday, September 7th at the King's Inn. Come celebrate the 11th anniversary of the area's King of Rock Clubs. Join us for a barbecue with all the fixins. You had me at barbecue. Cake. Wonder if to be cake there. I got a cake person. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I drifting again? My bad. Join us for a barbecue with all the fiction, drinks, friendly service, because Cass is not going to be behind the bar that day. So it will be friendly service. And live music featuring Gus Unplugged, Fretz, Big Empty, The Chicken Herders, JJ Savage, 3DB, Frozen Sun, and the Erotics. And by the way, I do have to thank Rich and Brian and the boys from On Civil Liberty, which is the song that you hear at the end of the show. I know you heard it at the beginning. Hopefully it didn't throw you off too much. Like, fuck, I missed the show already. But yeah, I mean, we're going to play it at the end too. Don't worry. It's in the credits. It's in the end credits. Don't worry about it. You guys will be fine. I promise. $25 donation is suggested for King's Fest. All the proceeds goes towards the bands and the Montgomery County SPCA. For more info, call the Kings in at 518-370-5667. And just a note on that, guys. Frozen Sun did disband. They broke up, and it sucks, but I believe there's going to be somebody in their place. Maybe, maybe not. But we'll see. Don't quote me on that, please, and thank you. All right. So that's it, Kings. And also, do me a favor, check out DJTs on Facebook. It is facebook.com/DJTs252. They are the ones that printed up the Rock Show thongs for us. And when I say Rock Show thongs, as you know me, I don't fuck around, right? Only the best for your personal areas, you know what I mean? Right there, the black pair, right? Victoria's Secret pink stuff. It's good stuff, not cheap. Good stuff right there. The logo is imprinted on the front, and look where the goatee rests. Why can't I get my fingers over there? That's what she said. He said, whatever. Look where the goatee is. Scientifically designed to be directly in the spot where you're looking for. Just saying. We also have in, of course, green, neon green. Again, scientifically designed for your. Never mind. If you guys are interested, do me a favor, just drop me a DM. Do not put anybody's sizes in a public post. It's not a good thing. You will not. It's not a good thing. Don't do that. Your woman will not be happy with you. Trust me. That I say that for a reason. Okay, Shante, thank you for the stars. Appreciate it. Where did I leave off? So yeah, that's DJTs252. They did the printing for us. We appreciate them. Facebook.com/DJTs252. Now, we mentioned Ralph. Let's talk about 93.9 WABI. Why? WABY, it's Wavy Baby. And just what this area needed was this radio station. Playing everything you guys want to hear from the 90s and 2000s. Killer tunes, heavy tunes, the good stuff, right? And yes, Capital Underground is still going. Sundays, 9 p.m. Can't miss it, all right? So tune into 93.9 on the airwaves. You can go to the website, is 939waby.com, or best way to do it, download the app. You can listen anywhere, and please listen responsibly. Tomorrow evening. Tomorrow's a big day. All right. Tomorrow's a big day. It's big for a couple reasons. Some I can't say, some I can. This is one of them right here. Let me, my neon green post-it notes. Everything's neon green, guys. Gotta be, right? So join WABY. I'm going to be tagging along with them. I'm kind of like riding their coattails on this one. All right. Friday, August 30th, 4 to 8 p.m. We're going to be hanging out at the Schaghticoke Fair, 69 Stillwater Bridge Street in Schaghticoke, New York. You guys can come register to win with WABY. Now come register to win a slew of stuff. I can't even give you the list. A, I don't have it in front of me. B, I don't want to be misquoted. But we're talking tickets galore. Come reach into Uncle Ralphie's prize box and register for your chance to win tickets. There's going to be wavy shirts, stickers, and we're going to be there shaking babies and kissing hands. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Great day tomorrow. Great day tomorrow. Not saying why. All I can say is, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Can't make me. Can't make me. Quite excited for tomorrow. This one's a long ways away, guys, but I'm going to give you a little hint how to save yourself some money. Harley Rendezvous, all right? Just happened in June. Well, it's going to be June next year. We're talking 2025, but tickets go on sale and I believe it's through Christmas. The specials going on. Again, don't quote me. And they're also adding a new ticket discount for VU virgins. If you know, you know. All right, let's just put it that way. September 1st, tickets go on sale for the Rendezvous. The Rendezvous next in 2025 is going to be 26th through the 29th of June. For more information, guys, remember, September 1st, they go on sale. You get a pretty good discount, so check that out if you're interested. 518-864-5659 or 518-864-5916, or you can go to harleyrendezvous.com. And I can't stress enough, guys, discounts. All right? Last thing, I'll stop yakking your ear off. I swear to you. I won't. I'm lying. You know I'm lying about that. EmpireLiveAlbany.com for you guys that are into live music. That's where you want to go, man. Empire Live Albany. EmpireLiveAlbany.com has a listing of all the cool stuff they got coming. I'll give you a little sneak preview. For all the details, you got to go to the website, though, EmpireLiveAlbany.com. September 1st, Steel Panther is going to be joining us. September 4th, John 5. Mammoth Grinder is going to be on September 10th. September 15th is Seven Dust. I believe that is a Waby show, too. Just saying. September 20th, Invoke Thy Wrath with special guests. Coming, looking down the pike a ways in the future, we're going to do the old crystal ball, the musical mystic, maybe. He has some insight on it. Who knows? That was a spoiler right there, just so you know. Clay people are coming. Fozzy, Guar, The Who, Spread Eagle, Fat Joe, Cell. I mean, a ton of them coming. It's going to be a great time. Check them out. EmpireLiveAlbany.com for all your information. Sheet's done. You know what that means, right? It can only mean one thing. It means I got to go up there. And Myron just got to go down there. What's up, my dude? How are you, man? I mean, listen. First of all, I'm gonna scold you a little bit. You're a fucking maniac.
This is not a secret people don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, literally, like, I don't know how to put this. Like, so, you know how when you're kind of like focused on something and your phone goes off, you're like, oh. But then you open it and you're like, oh, all right. You know, you get that you get that kind of charge that it's a message you actually want to see. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I'm trying to type and do that. I'm like, oh shit. And it was you sending me pictures, but I'm getting them like rapid fire. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? But we'll get to all that because you're not only doing just the Chronicles of Fuzz, you got this, that, and the other thing going on, plus a full-time gig, plus, of course, you know, you gotta help, you know, Becca out because she'll probably knock some sense in you if you don't. But yeah, man. First of all, how are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Busy. Life is fucking busy, but good, man. Good.
It's been a minute or two, man. I mean, the last time you were on, I believe, was Dirt. Yes, and you and Liz were on.
Yep.
And then Comic-Con happened, and then now here we are. You're into yet another project. I'll put the parenthesis on that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Freddie's saying hello. Just tell Freddie I said hello. Give him some itchings and scratchings behind the ears. Her cat, Freddie Mercury Krueger, watches this show. Literally will sit there and stare at the screen while I'm on it.
Jem looks like Jem's on there too, right? Yeah.
Jem's on. Yep. Shantae's here. Whole bunch of folks are hanging out, checking out the show, which is great. Thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate it. So let's start out by talking about you a little bit. So since the inception of this show, and even actually before the show, when I was working with Dave on Dave the Confused,
yep,
you were doing artwork for me, which I mean, can't beat it, obviously. So you've been around, you've been a part of the show for quite a few years now. But going back, when did it all first start for you? Like, when did you get the bug for drawing?
God. I know I've told you this story, but for those of you that haven't heard my tale of woe and whatever else, probably I was probably 6 or 7 years old, I would say. Um, where I started to learn how to draw was I used to trace Disney characters, like Scrooge McDuck and all that stuff, and kind of got some chops doing that. But like my real passion for the artwork came from comic books when I was probably 8 or 9 years old in the mid '70s. Fantastic Four number 186. I can quote it to this day. Didn't realize it then, but some of my most influential creators were on that book that influenced my own personal career. Len Wein, who's passed away, was the writer. George Perez, who's also passed away, was the artist, and Joe Sinnott, who's well known in the local area, was the inker and has also passed away. So all three of them are now gone. But like I opened this book up and it was action packed and colorful and exciting, and I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to draw like this. So, I used to draw my own comics on lined paper and all that shit when I was a kid. And, I pursued some art in high school. I went to college and got a degree in graphic design back in the late 80s, early 90s. And
can you tell what that is? Not to interrupt you.
No. What is that?
It's like the tip of an inking pen.
Oh yeah, it is.
And that's Joe. That's Joe's. That's
Joe,
one of
Joe
Joe's.
Sinnott? Oh, that's freaking awesome,
that's
dude.
One of Joe's.
He is such a nice guy too. He was such a nice guy, so giving of his time and very kind and a gentleman, but just the guy that would talk to you about anything, and he loved what he did. He loved his fans, but he never got above them. He was always accessible, and super
Absolutely.
Cool. I met him the first time in 1988 down at the old Fanacon down in Albany.
Mm-hmm.
But so for me, it was like went to college, got my degree, but there was no work to be had in graphic design at that point. Everything was going digital. Life happens. You get a job, you pay the bills, you have a family, and all that stuff. And roll into the early 2000s, and then I kind of got back into reading comics a little bit. One of my favorite characters is Mike Mignola's Hellboy. His first movie was about to hit the theaters and kind of drew me back into the fold, so to speak. And I started pulling my old books out and kind of going through what I had. I'm like, man. So I started drawing a little bit. And my friend Don Casey used to own a comic book store in Rotterdam out in the woods, and he and I used to sit and talk for hours about, because he went to art school. We both went to JCA back then in Albany. And, he was a big comic fanatic and all that. So he kind of inspired me to get back into the drawing piece of things. I went to I did the Joe Kubert School correspondence course for horror in particular. So Joe Kubert, who's also passed away in recent years, he used to actually personally give me feedback on my art. You'd put a cover sheet over it, show me some corrections of things he would have done a little differently, whatever. And you're starstruck because this guy was a phenom, and his not only was he famous in the business, but both his sons, Adam and Andy, both were famous in the business doing X-Men and Wolverine stuff. So, but to have him take the time to give me feedback on my pieces personally, and you could tell because it was his handwriting, and he was very complimentary of my stuff, and that really kind of inspired me to keep going. I'm like, wow, if this guy's been in the business for 40 or 50 years and he's telling me I got something here, I got to keep going. So I did a couple of small little indie things that were giveaways when I first started going to AlbanyCon, when John Belskis got it back going again.
Mm-hmm.
Doc printed them for me, and we did them in small format and gave them away. Just gave them away just to get it back out there again. But it really created some accountability for me to draw again and push myself. And, you look at that stuff back then, I'm like, ooh, that wasn't all that good. Some of those drawings they were good for then, but they're not good for now. But it's a good kind of keep you real when you look at that stuff back then. And then we're talking 17 and plus years ago. And then
Metallica sucked in the garage too. You know what I mean?
But their suck was good suck. You know what I mean?
Listen, I guess it's all like in the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? You may think that your stuff was not that good, but other people may be like, wow, damn, that's
but we don't evolve as artists if we don't pick our own stuff apart. So that's kind of how we are as creators. And, you know, so then you fast forward to 2017 and I'm drawing more. I'm kind of getting back into it. And I'm like, yeah, the major companies aren't coming and knocking on my door to come and offer me a job. So guess what? I'm just going to create my own imprint. I'm going to do my own shit. And, you know, I published my first book in 2017 and that was a leap of faith. And I've done 20 books since, you know, so I'm 20 books in, you know, 7 years, and it just keeps getting better for me because I'm drawing a fan base. I'm getting people that are into it and enjoying what I'm doing, which inspires me. And then the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months, something just bit me in the ass. And I'm like, I need to do better. I need to do more and I need to do better. So I really kind of pushed my craft to another level. I spent more time because I've always been about, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking do it fast and it's going to be out and it's going to be good. Now I'm like, it's still going to be good and it's going to be out, but it's going to take me a little bit longer because I'm really digging into the details. And I did a bunch of new prints and stuff for the last Comic-Con and I was blown away by how well I did a bunch of Disney prints like Alice in Wonderland and Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff, but they're full 11 by 17 size pages and lots of detail, and people were snapping that shit up. And I'm like, all right, I tipped over the apple cart now. Now it's we're going to push that envelope, you know, and
there you go.
Working on that book, Dirt. It took me, you know, down a path of ill repute, but it was good shit. And, you know, but the stuff that we're doing now on this new project is next level shit. It's probably the best I've put in a book yet, man. So I'll leave it at that I'm never completely satisfied with what I do, but some of this is pretty fucking good though.
We'll definitely get to that because we're going to show a lot of the stuff that you've done for episode edition 0.
Yep. Issue 0.
We'll issue 0. We'll talk about all that in due time. So talking about you got to be friends with some of the other local artists and stuff like Kevin, of course,
Kevin Conrad,
Nicole, Marcel, all those people. You're friends with a lot of the local artists, right?
Yes. Marcel is special.
He is pretty special. He's a good dude, though. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no, good guy, but they're very different in what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got a little different format, but you know what? Listen, art is art, you know.
Amen.
So do you guys ever talk about like a collab between the 4 of you or 3 of you or 2 of you or?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where everybody is so busy, you know, and like Kevin he's an inspiration to me because he's been in the business for a while, and you know, he worked for McFarlane, which in and of itself must have been a handful, and he did all the Kiss comics that are just fucking amazing. I have a hardcover book that's like this thick of his stuff, and that was before I even knew who he was personally, and it's good. Like, and the fact that he plays in a Kiss tribute band just makes it even better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I met Nicole locally in the Albany Con. I think was the first time I met her, and she's another one that's just watching her talent expand and grow and by leaps and bounds. She's a phenomenal artist, and like she's got a very definitive style. When you see her stuff, you know it's her.
You know it's hers, yeah, absolutely.
And it's super cool, and she's done some great collaborations with big people like Jim Starlin. Wow, you know, he's major power in particularly in the Marvel universe, you know, but you know, so to me, like, you know, they're friends and I appreciate them, but I fanboy a little bit with them because like they're good, and you know, they're an inspiration for me to push myself to kind of get to that level. But nothing we've really talked about in terms, like, I think a couple of times at Albany Con, people have come around with sketch covers and gotten different people to draw like character heads on them. And I did one on a sketch cover that Nicole had done something on. So I guess technically that's a collaboration, even though it wasn't really, but nothing really that we've talked about, but certainly I would always be open to that conversation. They're great. They're amazing.
And they're both so freaking down to earth. I mean, they're very approachable.
Yeah.
You know, they're both great people. I mean, all 3 of them. Marcel's a great dude.
There's so many other people too, like Joe St. Pierre and John Hebert, who's a good friend of mine back from the JCA. This area has such a saturation of incredibly talented artists. And if you haven't seen their stuff, man, look it up because they are great.
Absolutely. Now, have you always been have you always been since you were young, always been into comics?
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I want like some of your favorites growing up. What were they?
Well, as far as comics,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was my first. That was my gateway drug. Love the X-Men, particularly the Chris Claremont written stuff. The stuff after that kind of lost me a little bit. Paul Smith was the artist on a good chunk of those in the 80s. He's still a favorite artist of mine. Hellboy is one of my favorites. I have him tattooed on my leg. Absolutely love Mike Mignola's stuff. It's very, and you watch his style evolve. It went from being a little bit more line centric to being just about black and white and shadow. And it's gone to another whole level. His stuff is fantastic. I was mainly a Marvel guy growing up, so the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, that kind of, the X-Men, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. As I got older, the darker stuff called out to me a little bit, like the Vertigo comics from DC, like Sandman and Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's one of my favorites and has been forever. That style of book, Hellblazer, the magic kind of dark, more adult stories. There's tons more. I mean, I still spend way too much money on comics even now, but there's some great talent out there, and it's neat to see what people are doing, and the fact that I've met more and more of them as I've gotten older. I met a couple of years ago recently at Albany Con, Val Semix, who's another guy that's been around, was very prominent in the 90s. He did Lobo, he did Etrigan the Demon. He started showing up at Albany Con, and now that I'm an artist, I'm there a little early. I'm setting up my table and stuff, and I get to chat with people before we start. And I'm a fan, so I got a chance to meet somebody who I've been a fan of for 20 or 30 years, and get with him. He's such a freaking nice guy. Another one that's like, I don't know if people will remember me. I'm like, dude, trust me, they're going to remember you. And he didn't bring a lot to sell that first time, and he was like, he's like, I had to draw because I didn't bring anything to sell, but now, and it sparked him back up, and he's back out doing the con circuit now and doing really well. It's just cool. It's a cool community to belong to. And the fact that I actually get to play in that community and be a part of it and meet some great people and learn things from them and hone my craft and hone my setups for my tables and stuff like that it's just super cool to me.
Oh, thank you, by the way, for that recommendation. I got one of those table skirts of the.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so cool.
I just bought a thing. Okay, so answer this question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yep.
DC or Marvel?
It's going back and forth.
Right now, gun to your head.
Right now, it's more Marvel.
Okay.
The DC stuff is, it's gone in a direction I don't care for all that much. It's gotten. I'll probably brand myself for saying this, but it's gotten a little too political for me. I like the stuff that's more, let's have fun. Let's not mire ourselves in things that suck us down too far.
100% the reason why I don't do anything political on this show. I don't do political.
Yeah.
I don't do religion just because people want to get away from that shit.
It's an escape. These kinds of books are an escape. They were an escape for me as a kid. You get out of where you are in the here and now, and you get to, enjoy yourself for 15 or 20 or a half an hour or whatever it is that you read in the book. And to me, when I did my first few books, that was important. That's where I went. I didn't go with an agenda. I didn't go with a particular topic and top of mind. It was, this is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be colorful, and it's going to be something that people are entertained reading. And that's really all I care about.
I mean, we got really decent numbers tonight. I mean, they're up there, and I guarantee you ask any one of those people that are watching this right now, and they'll say, I didn't come here for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. They want to get away. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I was always, and as far as comics go, I got into them really late. I wouldn't even say I'm into them, but I did get into them pretty heavy for a while. And I'm like, I can't even afford to do this. Holy shit. Like, I was putting a lot of money, but I was a big Silver Surfer guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge on Punisher. That was my favorite.
Yep. John Hebert did a run on Punisher. His Punisher shit is really good.
The war journals and all that. Oh my God, dude.
Yep.
And fitting, but the Green Lantern was always one of my faves.
Yeah.
And that's fitting for, clearly look around. But
it's branding. Good.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, dude. That's exactly what it is, branding. So let's talk about your work now. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you've done. We talked DC, Marvel, and all these other guys. Let's talk about your stuff. You said earlier you did 20 books. Let's talk about some of those.
Oof, man, it's been all over the place. I started with a book that my friend Andy, who passed away 2 years ago, we were best friends in high school, and he had this idea for a book called The Tilt. The Tilt was basically exactly what it says. Earth tilts on its axis, kind of an end of the world cataclysm thing. And he had a whole idea for the story that came afterwards. Well, I like the idea of the name and the concept, but I had a very different take on it. So I had a couple of times tried to start a story, start and stop over probably 10 or 12 years of, man, I want to do this. And it kept calling to me. And finally, 2017, that was my first book, was The Tilt. And I just did it. I sat down on a vacation. I drew the whole book out and figured out how to lay it out and where to print it and all that stuff, which was all new for me. And I sold out the first printing of that book before I even had it in hand. And then wow. I've since done 4 or 5 more printings of that particular first issue. And it's not my best work. I mean, you look at it and compare it to what I do now. It's okay. The story's cool, but the artwork is not up to par, but people still buy it and pick it up and look at it, and I still offer the copies of it. So The Tilt got me in, opened the door, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do that. And people are into it. Even after they got the book in hand, I'm like, there's that first, okay, your friends support you, your family supports you and all that stuff.
Sure.
But they bought it and they liked it. And they're like, what's next? Is it coming again? So I started working on a second issue of that, but then I had another, I'm like, so my social media is kind of my gateway to the fans. And I'm like, hey, what if I did something else? Would you guys be into me checking out another story that I've got kind of percolating? And then, so the in-between was my next project. And the first one was a full-length 40-page graphic novel. And about a young girl, Morgan Briggs, who finds out that, she was adopted as a very young child, but she finds out her mom was a witch and her dad was a god. A cool story that evolved from that. And I took the artwork differently. I went black and white, which I hadn't done in the Tilt. And I really spent some time, I dug in. And I was pretty proud of that piece. And again, looking back at it now, I'm like, oh, there's some stuff where that drawing's not very good, but the story was good. It still stands the test of time. So I put that book out, and you remember I told you those stories that we gave away for free at the Albany Con? Yeah. I collected a bunch of those, and those are in the back half of that book. So you get 80 pages of story for $10. And I put that out there, and people sucked that up like it was going out of style. Like that, they love the witchy thing and, the magic. And I put some real esoteric stuff in there that's legitimately, ritual stuff from witchcraft and all that in there to kind of pull those people that are into that in. And that did really well for me for a full-length graphic novel. That's a leap up for people that aren't comic book people to take that step. But then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do? Because now I've got the bug and I want to see what else I can do. So I did 3 issues total so far of The Tilt. I might go back to that at some point because there's still story left there. I have a book called The Adventures of Kid Time, which is Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison is the main character. They're the 27th Legion. Yeah. They all died at the age of 27, and they're in the afterlife. They collect mystic relics to protect them from evil forces.
I like it.
So there's magic mushrooms in there and Woodstock and all this other stuff going on.
Go figure.
Yeah, it was a fun one-off. That there's story there if I want to go back to that one. I did Blood Red, which is kind of the crossover book that connects my entire, what I call my Fireverse, the Psychofyre verse. I've done 2 issues of that. There's probably at least 2 more issues that I can go with that kind of connects the story. I've done a few books for local folks too. So some promotional books. Chris Jacobson and I did 009 The Sniper, which was, he's a big, 007 fan, but it's also the story of his band Untamed, which has been around since the early 2000s in the Saratoga Winters kind of family. And Chris is a great guy, and we had some great conversations. So did an issue of that with the different incarnations of the band, and there's a story that threads it all together. that was a fun one that there's still story there if we want to go back to it. The first kind of official comic I ever drew was back in my college days at JCA, when I'm going to name drop here a little bit, when I went to college with Mike Valeni, who all know is from Brick by Brick and Empire Live and Underground and all that good stuff. Well, back then when I met him, he was in a little band called Attica. And Attica was my gateway drug into heavy metal, like the real heavy metal and thrash, and I met Mike in school, and like I went from being a good, quiet kid to being a bad kid, because I learned how to be a bad kid from Mike Valeni. And it was great. It was the best time of my life. We had so much fun. I won't even tell those stories.
Listen,
but
if you're gonna have a professor, that's the one to have.
Oh, this guy, man, he breaks the mold. But I used, back when we were in school, when I became a roadie for Attica, and we used to do a lot of the shows out of town and stuff. I got my first stitches in a mosh pit for Attica out in Syracuse at the Lost Horizon. But I did a comic book for them. It was the Heavy Metal Misadventures of Attica, and it was, Reeks McNulty, Pat McNulty, who you guys all know, and Steve Morrow, and Jim Allard was the first drummer, and then Mike Margiotta took over after that, and Chuck Robillard was the singer back then. But then you had Scott, and you had Chris all come afterwards. But I used to, it was tongue in cheek stuff. It was really funny and comical, but it was all adventures that we had experienced out on the road, and a lot of it was in joke type stuff, but people loved it. It was like photocopy paper, it's stapled together and shit. Sure. And people still have copies of that because they show me that they still have it. So that's cool. But so fast forward to, I think it was 2018. Mike had a bunch of unreleased tracks when Scott was the singer in the band that they had not done anything with. And they were like talking with the record label, and they wanted to put these out because there was a fan base for Attica that was really pretty fervent about their followership. I mean, Attica got to open for freaking Testament and Slayer at RPI Fieldhouse. That was a moment, And so when Mike announced that he was doing this release of these hidden tracks, or whatever you want to call them, I'm like, hey, what do you think if we do one more Attica comic book? Let's go back and do just one more to close the door. He's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, whatever. So I whipped this book up, and I was reading it again. I haven't picked it up in 5 or 6 years. I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. That's a pretty good story. So, that actually got released for the first, 25 or 50 albums that were ordered, got added to the promo pack that they got for the album. So that was super cool and a lot of fun. And, but it's just like in my collaboration, I've done a couple of collaborations. I did one with, Maria Vasquez. We did, Lola Montez, which was fun.
Oh, I remember that one well.
Yeah, we did the signing with you on live on the show, and and with Liz Vasquez. I mean, it must be a Vasquez thing, yeah, right. When we did Dirt, and I'm going to tell you what, as a promotional partner, she's about as good as it gets, because she pounded the pavement relentlessly pushing that book.
Yes, she did.
We sold as much as we did because of her relentless promotion. I have a couple copies left, but that whole first printing is all gone. And it did well, and we had fun doing it. And we, it was a little bit of a departure from what I usually do in my main line of books. But I've also done a couple of children's books on the other end of the spectrum. I did a children's book with my son. And then I did a children's book with Becca, my fiance, that was called Little Witch. And that was another book that did very well for us. We sold through 4 printings of that book. And it was really popular. A lot of people jumped on board with that.
Both of those were phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah,
too. Absolutely.
And then my son wrote a couple issues of a book that I really wish he'd go back and do some more stories. It was kind of a post-apocalyptic story that was really dark and had some weird character creations and stuff. And, it's called Twilight's Last Gleaming. And I did the artwork. He did the story, and he held me to task. Like, there's some pages I drew, and I was pretty proud of them. And I'm like, hey, what do you think? He's like, that's not really what I wanted. So I went back and fucking drew it again, but it pushed me to do some really good stuff. It goes on and on and on, but I love that every time I pick up a new collaboration with someone, it takes me a little further down the pathway of some really fun stuff.
Absolutely. And we're going to get to that in a minute, because that's what we've been talking about for the past, you and I, for the past, I don't know, maybe what, 3 weeks, a month?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
So you also do, not only do you do books, but you also, I want people to know you also do commission pieces.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to what somebody can submit to you, or is it just whatever they want you'll do?
Yeah, within reason. The only thing I would draw the line at is bestiality or things that are over the line with kid stuff. You know what I mean? But other than that, pretty much anything you want. I've done some adult things for sure for people, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. It takes a lot to offend me. I'm an old school guy, so you'd really have to work hard to offend me. But I've done
no bestiality then.
No bestiality. It's not my thing.
I'll have to find somebody else. Damn it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Shit.
But I've done a couple of like pinup type things for some people that we both know.
Yep.
That was fun stuff, and I got paid for it, man. I made pretty good money doing it. So hit me up, shoot me a message if you got something you want me to draw, and let's talk through it. I love a challenge. I love people to throw me things that I've not done before or have not done in that particular way. It's quick turnaround. My prices are reasonable. I don't overcharge. I like people to have access to my work. And, like when I do Comic-Cons, and I've done a bunch this year, I keep my prices very reasonable. A walk-up commission for me for a quick 15 or 20-minute drawing is $25. And
can't beat that.
Because I want kids to go home with something that they can remember a Comic-Con by. And I've actually got a few fans that have picked up on my stuff that now they come to Albany Comic-Con and they look for me to do commissions for them. And they'll come with something new every time, like, hey, I want you to do this. And there's these two guys in particular. They're, I don't have their names in front of me, but younger guys into the comic scene. But like I'm watching them grow up, and it's kind of cool. Because the one guy, they came the first time and they bought some stuff and we talked for a while and it was just good conversation. And they came back again, and the one guy was dating this girl, and, they were seeing each other, and then they came back again and they were engaged and getting married. And then they got married. Now they're pregnant. And, so he's having me draw stuff.
Jeez, that's awesome.
I'm watching these guys grow up. It's so freaking cool. And they're just nice guy. Like, we sit and chat more than I draw sometimes because they're just nice people. But they come back, look for me, and every time they come, they buy something from me, and that makes me feel good. It's not even about the money. It's just the fact that they're coming back and they're buying that artwork from me again and again and again.
Now, we talked about your other books. We're going to get to, I promise, we'll get to the Chronicles of Fuzz in a minute. But I just have, like, when you tell me something, I'm like, fuck, I got another question for him. So when you were talking about like laying stuff out and stuff like that, when you lay out, like, take me through the process of how you do this. Like, do you lay out, like, do you lay out all the panels first? Do you write the story first? Do you
it's funny because I'll tell people when I'm working on comics in particular, because it's a little different than when I'm doing like a commission piece or something. Comics have, a very specific way of means. So I'm like, I do it backwards is what I say. I tend to have an idea for a story and I kind of know where it's going, but I don't write a script. I don't write an outline. And a lot of comic creators, like when they're working with a writer, the writer gives them an outline and says panel by panel exactly what they want them to do. I do the artwork first. I draw the artwork and let the story tell itself through that. And then I go back and script it afterwards. And then I said that to one of my friends and they're like, that's not backwards. That's the Marvel way. That's what Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did back in the early Marvel days. Stan would say, here, this is kind of my idea. Jack would go draw a whole story, and then Stan would go back in and script it around what he drew. Like, I guess that makes sense to me now, now that you say that. So, and what I find is when I allow myself to create from the artistic side first, which is my strength, the story kind of starts to tell itself when it's a good story. I don't have to work hard at what comes next or how it ends or where it starts. It just evolves of its own accord. And a lot of the recent books that I've done have done just that. It's at the point where it's almost like somebody else holding the pen, and I'm just kind of the guy that's conveying the message. And that's when I know it's good. And especially when you have a great collaboration where it's a two-way conversation. Like you and I have conversation. Liz and I had daily conversations like we do. Mm-hmm. And I kick things back and forth. It evolves in my mind, and other thoughts come up. I'm like, oh, that would be cool to do this. And that would be cool to do that. And, it starts to become something bigger. And when people allow me to do that, it's the best stuff. When somebody kind of ropes you into a very specific channel, you can still do good stuff. But when you're allowed to have that creative license, it really lets you take it down a different road.
I think that's probably one of the easiest things that you and Liz had it, you and I have it, probably with the other, if you go with Chris,
yep,
and whoever else, is that I'm comfortable knowing that you will do your thing. Whatever that thing is, I know you're going to do it. And, when you come to me with ideas, there's rarely, if ever, a moment when I'm like, I don't know, It's all like, you say it, it's like, holy shit, I would have never thought of that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I think that's been my phrase the whole time you keep messaging me with another picture, another idea, or we talk. It's wow, and holy shit, that's amazing. Like, I run out of stuff to say to you because I'm like, what else can I say? Like, there's nothing better than amazing or stunning or,
Yeah, we're building a juggernaut here. This thing is going to be something special. It really is.
It's nuts because it was an idea. Yeah. You and I had kicked it back and forth. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, it's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And it just keeps growing. It keeps growing tentacles. Fuck, I keep.
Yes, a little bit of both.
I get the two mixed up all the time. You know what I mean? So there's like you have your own formula for doing it. And I'm sure other artists have their own formula.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, for me, like I'm when it comes to the artwork, I'm kind of stubborn. I don't do digital artwork. I lay it out with gray marker. I ink over the top of that, and I color on top of that. So the only thing I do digitally is I scan the final art for the pages, and I do the lettering digitally because it's way quicker and easier. So that's the kind of end game for me when it depends on the book, but like I've done some where I've laid everything out and then inked everything and then colored everything. And that got a little cumbersome. So then I've kind of gone to, I'll do a page at a time where I lay it out, ink it, and color it, and then move on to the next page. This one's been a little bit of a hybrid. I've kind of, if the muse is grabbing me and I need to draw something just to get it on the paper, I might lay it out and throw a few inks on it and drop a color here and there. But I want to get where I'm going, so before I lose that train of thought. So this one's been a little different than some of the ones that I had done in the past, but it's evolving. I mean, all the pages for this story are laid out. It's just a matter of finishing them up and scanning them so I can letter next. And, probably in 2 weeks, we'll have a book ready to go to the printer.
We're going to give you guys a little sneak peek in like 2 seconds, but I'm going to make Myron proud of me right now. You ready for this? The font for my show is Betty Noir.
There you go.
I finally mastered. I finally learned it because I would message him all the time like, "Yo, what's that font again?" You're like, "Ah, sake." So, how long does it normally take to do a book, start to finish, concept to the printer?
Depends. Like if I have a week off from my day job, I've done a book in a week. And that's like hours at the drawing board. And I'll tell you what, at my age, things start to hurt when you spend hours at the drawing board. I'm not kidding you. Like, back from hanging over, hips from hanging over the board. And I literally have bought fingerless compression gloves recently because my wrists were starting to bother me. But this last week that I was off, I drew so fucking much that week, more than I probably ever have in a week. I started to think that I wasn't contributing here in the house because I was just doing nothing but draw. And Becca's awesome. Like she's like, do your thing. It's something that's going to bring money into the house and all that stuff. She supports, but man, there's times where I just need to get up and fucking walk away because it hurts too bad to sit anymore.
Yeah, right.
But
so I know Becca's watching. Becca, it's partly my fault. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Oh, there she is. All right. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. The Chronicles of Fuzz.
Yeah.
So we started talking about this, and it like I said, it grew exponentially. Let me get to the first page I got running out. That's the teaser. That was the start of it. I think that was the first one you sent me. Was that one, and you kind of just like went all out. I'm just like, I'm looking at it, and I read the whole thing, and I'm like, and I'm sorry, those of you that are watching on phones, you're never going to be able to read that.
You want me to read it?
You can read it if you want to, absolutely.
So, as a young man, Fuzz Kabajian found himself an outcast among his peers, both for being different and for his love of metal music. One night, in a moment of weakness, Fuzz signs a Faustian deal with a crossroads demon. Fast forward to 30 plus years later, and the demon comes calling to collect Fuzz's soul. Regretting his decisions of a misspent youth, Fuzz begins frantically searching for any way to break his unholy contract. He runs into an ancient being of incredible power known only as the musical mystic, who sends Fuzz on a quest for redemption by means of an enchanted jukebox. If he can save 13 souls from damnation, his deal with the devil will be null and void. Join us for this exciting new title coming soon: Magic, Music, Mysteries, and Mayhem, The Chronicles of Fuzz.
Yeah, buddy. Now you forgot to say coming soon from Psychofyre Productions. Got to throw the plug in there, brother.
I can read that part.
You got to get the plug in there. That don't matter. You can listen. You can. There's no such thing as too many plugs. That's for damn sure. So that's where they kind of the concept of it, and then it just started like. It started snowballing. It was like these ideas. Myron just kept coming and saying, I got it. I got it. Now you've told me that this thing basically is writing itself.
It really is. It really is. That's when I know I've got something that's really clicking. And, some of the elements that we've added to the book already in this first number 0 issue were things that weren't immediately there for me, but became part of the story as we talked about it. We've added Saratoga Winners into the book. We've added, the musical mystic character that we just talked about was actually in the Attica comic book that we were talking about a few minutes ago. So it ties it together to my Psychofyre Fireverse.
I love it.
The things that we've like, I did a piece that I shared with everybody on social media this past week of Sean and Henry McFarren are going to be a part of this story. Beloved people that we lost both of those brothers so close together, and they were such phenomenal human beings, incredibly talented, and they neither one of them would have given you the shirt off their back. They were just good human beings. They lived hard, they lived fast, they lived rock and roll, and that eventually caught up with them. But you know what? They're still part of our story, and they deserve to be a part of this story. And I'm excited to continue to share some of that. It's going to be there. We turned this from what we weren't sure how long it is going to be, or how long it was going to go on. Fuzz was just like, I want this to be something more than a one-off. So, hi, Jem. And so now it's turned to 13 episodes or issues are going to follow this number 0 book. So the number 0 book is the origin story. Tells you why we're doing what we're doing, how it started, what's the premise behind the whole thing. They're going to have 13 standalone stories. Each one will be an individual story on its own accord, but is threaded together by this overarching story of Fuzz trying to find redemption for his soul. And the end of the story, I will not spoil it for you, but I know where it ends. I already know where it ends, and that's something that doesn't always happen. And it's going to be fucking spectacular. It's going to be spectacular. And if you've been in the local music scene here in the Albany region for any length of time, it's going to hit home when we're done. I promise you that.
I think over spectacular. It's going to be epic. It's when you told me that, I was like arm hair stand up kind of deal. Jess, that's a great question. And we were just discussing this earlier. Now, there may or may not be some appearances with Degenerates in the coming books that are coming. I may throw Myron a picture and say, hey, let's get a cameo in there. But there's a guaranteed way now that if you want to be in a story, there's a guaranteed way. Myron, let them know.
So we were talking about this. So this is the first time that I've done a book where we offered up advertising space. First of all, we've not done that before, but it's a great way to get your business noticed in a very different way. You know, and I get really good exposure at the Comic-Cons, particularly Albany Comic-Con, which John Belskis, I'm really appreciative of him. He's just he owns Excellent Adventures Comics in Ballston Spa. He's the one that's the mastermind behind Albany Con. He's a great guy, a good friend. But, you know, there's great exposure at Albany Con. It's very busy. So you want to get your business small or large exposure in a different clientele. This is a great opportunity to get into our book and do that. We also talked about, you know, it's a very unique way to offer a gift for a family member or a friend or for yourself. If you want to, you know, be on our thank you list in the book for $10 a person, $10 a line, you know, you can get your name in the book as, you know, you can wish somebody a happy birthday or whatever you want to freaking do. I don't care. But $10 gets you into that page. But then we talked about, because people were like, oh, you know, hey, you should draw this person or you should put that person in there. I'm like, well, if you want to be in the book, let's talk about that. So Fuzz and I talked about it, and for $50, pretty reasonable price, we'll write your character into one of the stories that's coming up.
I love it.
You'll be a part of the book. You'll be a part of the history. You'll be a part of the legacy. And it won't just be a draw your face in the crowd. You'll be a part of the story somehow. And the way that these 13 episodes are going to work, and I'm not going to give you all of it because I want there to be some surprises. But it's 13 for a reason, because 13 is that number. Mm-hmm. Saratoga Winters is going to be threaded in there. I will give you that. Each episode is going to have a title of its own, and they're kind of like tarot cards. And I'll give you the first one because I know this one's near and dear to my heart. The first episode is going to be called The Holy Diver. So I'm a big Dio fan. If you guys didn't know that, I used to sing in a Dio tribute band. He's my guy. He's my guy. It's not about Ronnie, though. It's not about Ronnie. So The story will evolve very differently than what you think. But a very well-known local figure, and I haven't said anything to this person, so I probably won't put his name out there, is going to be a character. You know what? I'll give you a teaser because it might give it away, but I'm not going to say the name. He's going to be a priest, but his kind of nickname as a priest is going to be the four-fingered fist. You read into that what you would like to read into.
I wonder if that could be. So I do have a picture of Saratoga Winters. Should I show it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
So interior of Saratoga Winters.
No.
So one of the things, like in this particular picture, you see there's kind of these crevices or cracks in the stage floor. And below that is a panel filled with spirits of the damned. So the one thing I'll share with you is that Saratoga Winters in this particular story is built over a hellmouth. So it's literally built over an opening to hell. So these people that you see, and if you look at somebody, if you could hone in there when your phones are on your screens, there's some local bands called out on the shirts there. There's some nods to some people in there because I have fun with those Easter eggs. It's kind of cool to put that stuff in there.
Absolutely.
But I thought it would be cool to have Saratoga Winters be built over a hellmouth. And that's where young Fuzz meets the Crossroads Demon for the first time, is outside Saratoga Winters.
Perfect place for it, right?
Right. I know I met a few demons there.
So, you and me both. All right. So this next picture I'm going to show is ridiculous. It's ridiculous is what it is. I'm just going to say it. I want you guys all to focus on what's behind me right now, which is crazy in and of itself. There's a lot going on. Like this above the thong tree is an actual piece of wood from Saratoga Winters. And so I get this, and every time I look at it, I still like look around. Well, that's not the right one. That one is. Look at that. The attention. We were talking about attention to detail before. Like, this is ridiculous. Like everything, literally everything that's back here, including my mess, which is the best part, including my mess. Flaps is in there. Like, it's just like, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like the skateboard, the Spider-Man's mask, the lava lamps, the golden platinum albums, all the guitars, the neons, the thong tree. I mean, if it wasn't there, I would have probably been a little bit upset. But like,
I knew
all
I
the
could
way down to the sticker on my fucking microphone is even there. Like, it's crazy. Looking at it, it's crazy. I mean, that right there, if that was a print alone, which we may have to talk about, that right there would be hanging somewhere in the studio. 100%. That's amazing.
The fun thing with some of what I've been doing recently is hiding out Easter eggs, and digging for details, because it's easy to throw a face into a box and give it a blank background. But when you create context for those figures, like, this is important because this is part of your show, and when we fast forward from young Fuzz to Fuzz now, there's got to be context that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And for me, if I don't create those details, I haven't done my job, because we're drawing in a crowd that doesn't necessarily, maybe they don't read comics, but they're a fan of that Fuzzing Rock Show. And if I can create context for them that draws them into the book, it's a win for me and a win for you.
I think it's tough to see. These thumbnails are very, very small on my screen, but I'm going to pop this one up because I think this is the one that was even more ridiculous. Wait, is that it? Let's try it and see what the fuck. We can always just talk about whatever panel this is about.
Whatever pops up, we could, yeah. So yeah. That's so this particular panel or set of panels, this page, Fuzz has gone to an occult library because he's panicking now that the Crossroads demon is telling him that he's coming for his soul soon. So Fuzz is like, what do I do? I got to find some way to get out of this. So he goes to this occult library and he meets this young lady who's the kind of the librarian or curator, who we call Ms. Construed. Is her name. She is based on a real life person that shall remain nameless, but the character is pretty cool. And if you notice, she's got a protection rune on her hand. So she's leading Fuzz down this hallway, and it's kind of like a tomb, really down the hallway. And then we get into the research room where the really arcane stuff is hidden. It's not out for the general public to view. And so she kind of takes him down this hallway into this room with, all the books and the dark artifacts and everything. So this is kind of setting the stage for what comes next.
It's a specific one that I'm looking for, and it's not. I'm sure we'll find it. Is this it? This looks like the same one. Yeah, that's the same one, just a little bit lighter. Let's try. Jesus. Oh, this was the cover photo, the teaser photo when it wasn't even colored, which was awesome.
Yeah, it needed to have that epic superhero feel to it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run down these real quick because I'm looking for a specific one.
So there's where the entrance to the library, and we intentionally set it in Sleepy Hollow. If you see on the sign, you can kind of read that.
Yep.
Because Sleepy Hollow obviously is New York legacy. It's got lots of mythology and magic with the headless horseman and all of that stuff. So I thought it was appropriate to stage the occult library of antiquities there.
Let me drop the next one. I'm trying to find.
That's the very first page.
I love it.
Young Fuzz in school.
So my hair was about out to here. It was very big, large hair, but that's okay. There's a different one of the one that we showed you earlier.
Yep. The Crossroads Demon. Yep. There's the winner's sign and Fuzz.
These are all ones you've posted, so I don't think I'm giving anything away.
No. And I wanted to have a wide shot of winners as it used to be, because as we know, it burned to the ground back in I think 2007. Yep. But to set some context for where we were, and then that sign that everybody remembers that always had all the the bands that were coming up. And, I talked with Fuzz about which band, was one that you really wanted to see back in the day. Let's feature that one. And then of course, Attica had to live in there for me, because that was me. That was my gateway drug. And then China White, Sean and Henry, and those guys, we love them. So China White needed to be on that sign too, for the legacy and the history of Saratoga Winters, in my opinion.
I think I found it and it never downloaded. Well, it's going to download now. Now I found the one that I was looking for, guys. So,
well, I only sent you, a million things in the last 2 weeks.
This is ridiculous. You thought the studio was ridiculous. This page is 1,000,000% ridiculous.
Oh, the library. Yeah.
The details in that middle section is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
When Fuzz goes to the library looking for some help, there's a gargoyle on the door knocker up in the top right panel, but that middle panel, I wanted it to be this room that was huge and just had this feel of being a huge room. And and the way we're going to process this book is like, it's not going to be all color, it's not going to be all black and white, it's going to be kind of a hybrid. So the color will pop in certain areas to draw attention to certain things. And I wanted stained glass windows in this particular panel because it just felt right. And, and they absolutely screamed for color. But, the books and the inset walls and the staircase and the fireplace and all the other things that are going on, some of the framed pictures on the walls, I want it to be something where you just don't look at it and move on. You want to look at it and dig deeper to see, well, what did he hide in this particular page? Because that's always fun for me when I read a book. Is the artwork is the entrance drug. The story is that secondary thing. And when you can look at a panel and find those devil in the details hidden things there, I always love that. It's like, where's Waldo, but in an adult fashion. You know what I mean?
I think what got me was when you sent me this picture, I obviously frame by frame, I look at it, but I stopped at that one, and you kind of feel like you're in the doorway of this room, and you're actually looking at, in your mind, obviously, you're just like looking into this giant space.
Yeah. And of course, we see Misconstrued down at the bottom of the page, her first appearance, more or less. What's funny? I got to share this with you. So I did a book, not really a book. It's nothing I ever released. I had this character called the Killer Sunflower. And it was just what he was. It was a sunflower with samurai swords, and he went around. It was foul and angry and cut people up, and there was nudity and violence and all that stuff. And he met this girl, and her name was Misconstrued. So I'm like, we got to go back and use that. That's a nod to that book I did back in the late 90s that never saw the light of day.
I like it. This one was in its early stages too.
Yep. Or Misconstrued. We had to show her pencil skirt and some of her assets.
He said assets. Amazing assets for sure. I don't know what this one is either. But
I don't know if she's watching, but we made it work.
She's seen them. Trust me. See, not being able to see these thumbnails, I don't want to give too much away, but I want to show these because they're just so freaking great. So there you go.
So this is, do you have the other one, the full page one of the character, the musical mystic?
Let me see if that one downloaded too.
It's full color, so it should be a little easier to see.
Let me go back to,
because that'll kind of help the tale a little bit better.
I'm going through this thing where when I download shit, I get errors where it doesn't show me. It doesn't load. Like if I select 12 of them, or 14 of them, it doesn't. It'll say error and it doesn't download 2, and then you're not sure which ones it was. You're like, fuck me, Let me see here. I'm sorry, chat. I apologize. I'll make it up to you. I promise. I'm not going to go down on all you. That's out of the question, but maybe one of you. Maybe just one of you. And, it'll be like somebody's got to take the bullet for the team.
Oh, my.
It's so great being my own boss, dude. There it is. All right. Hold on a minute. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, the full color one, right?
Yeah, it's a full page. Just the Musical Mystic.
Yep. Let me get that one loaded up. It's working. It is working. Oops. All right. And somebody said at the beginning of the show that I'm so good at what I do, but it just shows you not true.
You got to keep it real.
Not true at all. There we go.
There it is. So this character is the Musical Mystic that we've referred to a couple of times. He appeared the first time in the Attica comic book that we were talking about, as he's kind of like, he was the narrator of the book, kind of, so to speak, kind of like the Crypt Keeper or something along those lines. Should I give away the interesting factoid of who it really is?
I think you should. I think it's a great nod.
All right. Well, if you take a good hard look at it, that's me. That's me. So I was the narrator of the Attica comic back in the day. So I put this character into the Attica comic book as, like I said, a Crypt Keeper, kind of telling the story person, the one that narrated the tale that was going to finish. So the Musical Mystic finished the Attica story and kind of closed the door on it. In fact, this was the Attica comic I have right here in my hand. And he opens the story. I don't know if you can necessarily see that, but the Musical Mystic is, he's there. But at the very end of the book, he's at the very bottom panel there on this side. And he closes the door on the Attica story. So I'm like, I told Fuzz, I'm like, yeah, it might be cool to bring this guy that's me back in to kind of facilitate some of what's going to happen. So I drew it up and it felt like a good element, and I got to be a part of the story too. And it's a nod to, like I said, my Psychofyre verse, my Fire verse that has all my other books, kind of in the same universe. Now this makes the Chronicles of Fuzz exist in my Fire verse as well. So it allows me to do crossovers and stuff if I really wanted to later on.
And it's great that it ties it in. I'm honored that you would think of me being worthy of doing that, man. I appreciate it.
No, it's fun. And,
sure.
And so the Musical Mystic is just kind of the leverage that gets Fuzz into his adventures. He's gonna be the conductor, so to speak, of this mystical jukebox that's been hiding with a cover over it in the annals of the library there down in the dungeon type areas. And there's some fun stuff coming. Fuzz is going to have a traveling companion.
We're not giving that away, though.
We're not going to give that one away. I shared that, though, I think, didn't I?
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
You probably did.
I don't know. Let me go back and look.
Well, I know you did send it. You definitely sent it to me.
I sent it to you, but I thought I shared it, but maybe I didn't. I shared the McFerrin picture. That's one we should look at. Do you have that one?
I have it right here. I was just going to kind of segue into that. Let's talk, because that got a lot of attention.
Yeah. And so, as we've said, Sean and Henry were near and dear to you. They were near and dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
The first incarnation of my Ronnie James Dio tribute that I was putting together however many years ago, they were part of it. They were part of that conversation. And I met Henry first back in, 1989 or 90 when he worked at the music store. And
Adirondack Strings.
And through Mike Valeni. He introduced me to Henry, and he was such a nice guy. He was very welcoming and a friendly dude. But I ended up closer to Sean later in life, hanging out at parties with lots of the friends in the local area. Sean was just that guy that everybody liked Sean. Everybody liked Sean. And I have a funny story really quickly that it's my favorite Sean story. Holly and Scott Staw always had these great parties at their house in Loudonville. And, I was fortunate enough to get invited to a few of them. And we had spent the night. And, that next day is always like, oh. But we got up and everybody was having a day drink to shake off the hair of the dog. And Sean was there, and the day before they had one of these freaking like hot dog steamers, like the cart, where you put the hot dogs in and they just steams them and you grab one when you want
one.
Yep. It had been shut off and turned off and pushed over in a corner outside. So we're sitting there and we're all having a breakfast drink of some sort or another. And Sean comes in eating these fucking hot dogs. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, it's like bologna. They're still good. I'm like, dude. And then he did that. He did he had an absinthe drink with a fucking hot dog. I was like, what are you doing? But it was charming in the most fucked up way. That's all I can tell you. And I will never forget that moment. That is my favorite Sean memory of all time, was him eating those fucking day-old hot dogs out of a cold cart and drinking absinthe while he was doing it.
Actually, I have a couple favorite Sean stories. So I gave him a ride home after a show one night. And he's like, come in. I want to talk to you for a minute. All right, no problem. So we went inside. He was almost a savant as far as music goes. Yeah. He knew everything about every band imaginable. It was crazy, the knowledge he had. And a vinyl collection to match, too. He had a pretty impressive vinyl collection. So we go inside, and he starts giving me, like, history of rock and roll lessons. I figured, I'd give him a ride home on my way home. I was tired. I was roadieing for the band at the time.
Yep.
So I wound up being in his house for 4 hours, dude. And he played bass along with all these songs, knew all the songs, showing me exactly what was going on. And all of a sudden, like, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of staring at the wall like, I'm like going to pass out. I'm so fucking tired, And mind you, he was, anybody that knew Sean, he was well off. He did indulge in drinks. Everybody knows that. And he was pretty well, he was pretty hammered.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to, I think he had Anvil on or something to that effect. And he's playing along to it. And all of a sudden, I noticed that the music's still playing, but the bass stopped. He stopped playing along with it. So I look over, he's still got his fret hand and he's still got his fingers on the string, but he's out fucking cold. Out fucking cold, right?
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, how do I make my exit from here, So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna I'll lock the door behind me, whatever, So I get up to leave, and as I'm walking past him, he reaches out, grabs me, and I stopped, and I'm like, and then he just goes back to playing. Like, what is that? I'm like, Sean, dude, I gotta go. I'm ready to pass out.
I remember one night we were at the Shamrock, the old Shamrock down in off the road, and he was there, and true to form, he was blasted.
Meant to be tied.
But he's a happy drunk, He was never a guy that started anything. He was always happy. But I never got hugged more by a dude than I did by him that night. Like every time I walk past, oh hey man, hey, how you doing, man? Like, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Early on in my tenure with the band, as far as the roadie goes, he could never remember my name. Never remember my name. So he'd always so now he's like you or whatever the fuck he would say.
Hey, bro.
So he walks by me and he goes, whoa. And I'm like, what? Now I had big ass hair back in the day. Like it was the 80s. I had big hair. So he comes up to me, he throws his arm around my neck and like kind of like headlocks me. He was shorter than I was, so he was struggling a little to get up there, but he kind of headlocked me, and he takes his hand and goes like this in my hair. He goes, "Your hair is so fuzzy."
And there it is.
That is where I got the name Fuzzy from. Fuzz or Fuzzy was
That's awesome.
so he goes, "That's your name from now on. Your name's Fuzz. We're gonna call you Fuzz." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that'll stick. Whatever." 30 some odd years later, here I sit as Fuzz, you know?
That's awesome. You know, so, you know, just to come full circle, those guys were great dudes, both of them. I really worked hard to render this picture to do them justice and make it, you know, as close to their likeness as I could possibly achieve. And they're going to have a part in this story. It's going to be a big part in this story. I won't tell you who they are or what they're going to do, because I think that's kind of fun to leave that up to make you want to read the story. But it's an homage to two brothers that were brothers to us both, and I felt like it was appropriate.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this whole thing. I can't wait. And now we were talking timeline earlier, which shocked the shit out of me too, because you're just like, yeah, you know, it'll be whatever. We'll have it done in no time. So this should be done. I'll let you take it over from here because I don't want to.
Number 0, this first issue that's going to tell the origin story. It'll be ready probably in a couple of weeks. We'll have it ready for sale definitely by AlbanyCon in October for sure. Likely before then, but I'll probably have most of what I need to do with it wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, if provided, you know, nothing goes crazy.
I think a good idea too, and maybe I'll just offer this to somebody who wants to waste their money, but not that the book was a waste of money by any means. But so at the end of this, when we get all of these episodes and the stories done and everything, maybe we'll offer a limited edition box set. And what I mean by box set is I will literally take all of the editions, put them in a used Amazon box, and draw dicks all over the box. That's the box set that you're going to get.
You know, we even toyed around with the conversation of making a limited edition graphic novel, you know, where once we're done with all of the individual issues, of perhaps putting them together in a collected compendium and doing something with that, you know, as kind of a commemorative issue. And it's very easily handled and done. You know, the nice thing about printing comic books now is that it's accessible for the small guy. It's accessible for the person that doesn't have a huge budget. You send digital files, and the turnarounds, you know, it can be as little as, you know, 7 to 10 days if you pay a little extra for it. And the quality is fantastic. There's options for paper. There's options for cover. You know, there's a lot of things that can be done with the comics now that don't break your wallet, that don't break your bank. You can do it as little as a 25 copy print run, you know, to get your foot in the door. And that's typically what I do with a lot of my books is I go 25. And if I sell out 25, maybe the next time I go 40 or 50, you know, it depends on how well we do with a particular issue or a story. But, you know, back in the day, it would never have been this easy to do a book on your own and publish your own stuff. And, you know, now I've created a brand and an imprint for myself that is recognizable, at least locally for sure, and has done fairly well for me.
I'm not ignoring you, man. I was just looking at some of these. I just want to see Miss.
So I realized, and Becca just shared with me that she went back and looked. I have not shared your traveling companion.
Okay.
So if we want to do that here as kind of a groundbreaking conversation,
we could. I would have to download it. And I have the rough version of him. I don't know if I have the, because it's weird because I downloaded some of them on my phone, which was stupid, but that's where I was at the time.
I'll send it to you again. Hold on. Because I have the kind of the colored version of it, so to speak.
That's the one you want to show then, right? Okay.
The one that's most finished.
Gotcha.
Let me find it. thought I did anyway. Maybe I don't have it in here.
I just had to go back and look at Misconstrued one more time. Yes, sir. I have.
Maybe I
Where
don't.
are you?
That
Where
one.
are you? I know I have it. I definitely have it.
This one's a fairly finished version of it. I just sent to you.
You want the whole page?
Yeah, I think that's okay. So this is groundbreaking. We haven't shared this anywhere else.
Sake. I hate you. I love you to death, but I hate you. You had to send that one? Really? You had to send that one?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right. No problem.
So we're going to introduce a new character here that might end up in merch at some point.
Son of a bee.
Because it fits the branding, more or less.
Oh, does it ever? Does it ever? All right. Here we go.
So, I forgot. Yeah, the rest of that's there. So this page is the last page before the end of the story. There's one more, which is the McFarlane page that comes as kind of an after credits page. So this one is Fuzz is being given a lot of the tools that he's going to need to be successful on his adventures through the mystical jukebox. So Misconstrued says she has one more tool that she needs to give Fuzz in order for him to travel safely through the mystical jukebox. So she's like, but you can't peek. So if you notice, he's covering his eyes, but he's still peeking. He's giving the okay sign, but he's still peeking because that's fucking Fuzz. And if you notice, she's sliding her G-string off around her ankles in the top third panel. So she takes the G-string off, the thong, and she casts a mystical spell on it and turns it into an amulet that Fuzz will now wear as protection on his adventures through the magic jukebox. But also in the panel, you'll see that the musical mystic is in the background. And Fuzz's new traveling companion, who we have lovingly named Gimp the Imp.
That's him.
It's G''IMP, the Imp. He's a minor devil with a really sour and sarcastic attitude, who's being told that he has to help Fuzz on his mission. So he's going to be the sidekick throughout the following 13 issues that come. I want to give you guys a little backstory to that page, though. So Fuzz told me, he sent me a picture and he's like, I need to get this thong into this story somehow. Make it happen.
Listen, you got to. I'm like, you have to tie the branding of the show into the book, right? I mean,
I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with a thong to get it into the story? So we turn into a magic amulet that he can wear. That's the best I got.
I really hope Misconstrued is in bed right now.
It's fun. It's a fun add to the story.
It is. It absolutely is.
I told Fuzz that, if this thing does well for us, that Gimp the Imp should probably be a plush of some sort that we can.
How cool would that be, dude? That'd be sick.
Yeah.
What do you think, Flaps?
Gimp
Flaps agrees, man.
Gimp the Imp.
Myron, you know Flaps, right?
Yes. Flaps is in the picture I drew.
Yep. Flaps is my emotional support otter. Somebody who won't admit to it sent it to me. And so aptly named him Flaps. I think you guys can do the math on that one. Yeah, so Flaps sits here with me during the show, and he's quiet. He don't say much, but when he does,
makes me think of that freaking Spinal Tap song, "Big Bottoms."
Similar. Too funny. You got me good on that one, dude. You got me good on that panel. That was a good one.
So that's you guys got that here first tonight. We hadn't shared that yet, and I thought it was appropriate to give you a little something. But there's a lot of fun things coming for this story. We barely cracked the tip of the iceberg with it. It's been fun for me. It's a fun draw. It's a fun write. And I'm actually drawing another book consecutively for someone else while I'm doing this. So I'm doing two books at the same time right now.
I was just trying to lead into that when you said that. It's not that you're doing just this one. You got another one going and prospect for a third
Yeah.
Which I won't give away, but
yeah, for another fairly well-known local musician reached out to me and has a story they want to tell about a family member that is interesting to me, and I'm entertaining the concept of doing that as well. So, on top of whatever else comes my way, but these books are fun. These books are fun, and this particular one, the Chronicles of Fuzz, as Fuzz and I were talking earlier before we came on the air, that this thing's writing itself. It really is. It's telling. There's a story that we started with kind of an overarching framework of, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. But Fuzz has really let the chains off and let me go with this. And a lot of the things are evolving as we start to work on the story. And as more things pop, I send them to him and he's just like, whoa, yeah, do that.
I think that's the magic of it. It's just like, take the shackles off and like fucking go nuts, dude. Because like I said, I don't think there's been an idea that you've brought to the table or that I've brought to you. And we're like, nah.
No, it's a good collaboration in that fashion because it allows for the creative juices to flow and it's the same conversation I had with Liz, when we were doing Dirt. That's a dark fucking story. It's a dark.
It is.
We found a way to make the ending feel good, and in a way that really made sense for that particular story too. So the more that the collaboration is a positive one, the more creative juices get flowing and the better end product we get, for sure.
Absolutely. Getting back to the 3 books, Pat, I love you. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm stealing all this time. Sucks. So yeah, and they're gonna be priced in a manner that people can get them fairly cheap. I shouldn't even say fairly, they're, for what it is, it's going to be very cheap.
Yep.
And it's something that you can kind of collect and get, see if you can get all 13 of them. You know what I mean? I don't do it often, Becca, but I had to throw it out there. So yeah, dude, I'm excited to be working with you yet again. And, you're my art guy. I love you to death, bro. You know that.
It works, man. We have a lot of fun and the synergy is positive and it's brought out a lot of great stuff. And we've only just scratched the surface. There's a lot to be had here yet. And I think this first book will be fun for people. It'll surprise people. There'll be some stuff in there that they didn't know yet was coming. And where we finish it will be heartfelt. There'll be some laugh moments through these stories. There'll be some seriousness through these stories. But where it finishes, if you're an Albany or Greater Capital Region native and you grew up in the era of Saratoga Winters and the music scene here, there's going to be a special moment that really, I think, hits home for people. And, it might be a little bit of a tearjerker too, and that's okay because that means we finish strong. But we're going to have some fun. We'll poke fun at some things. We'll have some laughs. But I want to finish it in a fashion that honors where it came from.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. I'm super excited for it, and every time I get a message from you, I know it's going to be something freaking brilliant. So,
thanks.
Good on you, man. Hats off to you for sure. You're definitely a fucking talent, dude. Again, your attention to detail is just thick, absolutely fucking sick. I just got to show this again because I can't get over this. I really can't. Like, every time I look at this picture, I look around like, yeah, you got that. Yeah, fuck, you even got that. Like, even down to some of the wires that are hanging out. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's crazy. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on. It's been I know I took up a lot of your time, but I got to go to You Post-its. Do you want to hang out? Do you got time to hang out? We'll do You Post-its together.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right,
they're always fun.
Let's switch over the old studios to the You Post-it studio. All right, you may feel a little reduction in cabin pressure. We're going to move over to another studio. You ready? Oh, Jesus, that was crazy. Look at that. Here we are, another studio. Wait, you didn't freeze up, did you? Oh, no, there you are. Okay, you're good. My weak attempt at humor. Okay, so we're going to start You Post-its off, guys. This is timely. One person is going to get this joke, but it's timely that this one shows up when it did. So, You Post-its. Here we go. First one. Eat it.
Well, that looks yummy.
That is a cake that Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Somebody makes you cake, you know.
And have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly. I am so fucking dead. Oh, I gotta learn how to shut the fuck up. All right, next one. What if Reese's Cups moaned when you pulled their little panties off? I think there's an invention there. There's something there. There is something there. Oh, Shante, yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. I forgot, as usual. There we go. Oh, look at, dude, the love in the chat is funny. Holy shit. Hearts and thumbs up flying everywhere. Yeah, listen, that's a design that needs to happen. Let's go to the next one. Unrivaled in both length and girth, Cookie Monster made Ernie regret insisting on comparing the size of their D.
Childhood ruined right there.
100%. 100%. I got to keep taking the disclaimer down because it blocks the bottom of the paper.
You can't block the D.
No, don't ever block the D. Next one. Eating instructions: open flaps and munch.
Well, and it's on a box.
And it's not. Listen, if you guys buy the box set of the Chronicles of Fuzz, you may get that covered in a bunch of dicks.
Oh man!
I mean, if you think about it.
Oh, I'm just being told that perhaps there should be a prize in the box, like a thong.
Panty dropper, baby. There it is. Next one. Oh god, this one's fucked. Next one.
Oh. The sad part is it probably tastes pretty good.
Piggies in a blanket just got that much less appetizing. You guys are sick. Listen, I call you post it for a reason. You guys post this shit. I just take it off Facebook and pop it back on here. It's easy. Y'all are a bunch of sick fucks. But I appreciate the hell out of it. You know that. Next one. Work. Why do you need the ninth and 10th? Me. I had something come up on short notice. Mm-hmm. The 9th and the 10th. Showgirls 3. The midget is back. How can you not take the day off for that? I'd take the week and recover after the 9th and 10th if it was me. But love them. I love them little folks. They're so great. That's another story. Next one. You see, son, grilling a good steak is a lot like your mom. Once it starts bleeding, it's time to flip her over to the other side, the brown side. All right, I got to get rid of the disclaimer. I'm sorry. The brown side, that's it. Teach them early, teach them young.
Oh.
Listen, I told you before we went on the air, these are spicy, some of them. Some of them are spicy. Let's go to this one. Drinking non-alcoholic beer is like licking your sister's pussy. It tastes the same, but it's just wrong. I mean, that's facts. Facts. Like, and if you throw a step in front of it, like step sis, step bro, it's still the same thing. Stop it. Stop going down on your siblings.
That's just what they do so that the movie's not illegal.
Exactly. Stop going down on your siblings. I'm going to say it right now. Or send me a link, one or the other. Next. If she doesn't gasp when you put it in, just pull out and go home. You're not qualified for that mission. That's true.
Oh.
That is true. Listen, you don't get that initial, just you ain't got the tools for the gig, boy, go home. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, so I've read in the internet. Next one. Orgasms are like cooking. I could do it myself, but I prefer someone else do it for me.
Right?
That's fair. That's a fair point.
That is fair.
Yeah. I mean, I like to cook and I like to. Never mind.
Cook.
One or the other. Now, this one's touchy. Here we go.
Oh.
Now we wait. Now we wait. The wonderful thing about Tigger's a wonderful thing. Pooh's going to find out. That's why they call him Pooh. I'm a fucking genius. I am a fucking genius. Oh my God, dude. I'm going to take a Mensa test. I'm smart. That's why they call him Pooh. I'll show you again. Do the math right there. Now we wait. That's why they call him Pooh. Oh, God. Science. It's science. It is. Next one. It's official. I am no longer late for anal. How many times has she gotten comments on that, you think? I mean, it's right there for you. You can't say you don't see that, right? You know what I mean? Like, people can't say they don't see that. And I don't know why you'd be late for it. You kind of have to plan that shit, don't you?
Nope.
Again, so I've read on the internet. Oh boy. Next one.
Oh.
Your uncle's tent at the powwow.
Oh. Nothing good's coming out of that.
Well, it comes out. That's the design flaw right there. Oh God, and baby Jesus, save us all. Here's the next one. Nothing better than a woman who uses her mouth as your alarm clock. You guys are sick. You guys are posting this shit. I'm not going to disagree, but
is that an alarm cock?
No, I believe her mouth is the.
I think I'm brilliant. I'm going to take.
You might take the credit for that one for sure. We'll stamp that one. We'll stamp that with the big M for Myron. Next one. The best safe word you can use is meatloaf. It means I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. That whoever did that is a genius. Also, that's fucking brilliant. I never even thought that. I mean, put two and two together. That is brilliant.
It's that dolphin thing, you know.
That's not the word. That's like using deeper as your safe word. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, and people say this show is just fucked up, right? This is a learning experience. We do science. We do genius stuff.
It's life lessons.
100%. Bastards. There, take that. All right. Oh boy, what is this one? This one's probably bad too, but we'll throw it up there. When she asked if you pulled out and you said, yeah, lies. Your new website, sir, is lies.com because that's not true. You lied to that poor young lady. You did not pull out. I mean, you may have, but
about 5 seconds too late.
Yeah, you got to do it before the pulsations happen. Come on, man. Pull-out game should be strong, sir.
Amateurs.
That's what it is. It's just amateurs. Where were we? Right here. It's this one. I don't get it. Exit 6. I don't know why this one's so interesting.
Taco Tuesday and titties.
I mean, I don't see it. Of course I do. The giant rack in the clouds? Yes, I see that. You missed the first thing I saw. I'm just messing with you guys. Moving on. No. Yeah. I'll answer this question. I will.
And
I have to math first though. When last did you masturbate? 36 minutes ago, probably.
Really?
No, not really. That's sick. Maybe.
What did I say that caused that?
You'll never know. You'll never know.
It was that green thong, wasn't it?
Listen, you don't know what's going on under. Listen, from chest length down, nobody's got no idea what's going on.
Bro, this is the real no pants party, okay?
And I never wear pants on a broadcast, and you rarely see my hands. So,
ditto.
Do the math. Here we go. My next relationship, I want sex and trips. We just got to be coming and going. That's just a simple life right there, don't you think?
It's a good mission statement.
That's what people want. Coming and going. within reason. Next one. I'm a ventriloquist. Let me put my hand on your skirt and I will make your lips move. Facts. Straight facts. That's true. We think Flaps. Flaps agrees. Flaps approved. He knows. Oh, this one's questionable. Coin flip. You haven't heard some weird shit until you fucked a deaf girl. Sounded like I was beating a baby seal. That's just not right. I'm gonna give the stare. I'm gonna give the stare for that one.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm just gonna give the stare for that one. That's painfully hilarious, but not right. Not right. Y'all are sick. Love it. Next one. I'll be sucking dick telepathically today, so if you're cock twitches, that was me. Again, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I find these on Facebook, and then I bring them here and I post them. I personally do not suck dick telepathically.
Well, you do it in real?
I was leaving the joke open for you. Myron, again, this is a show of learning. I'm going to teach you a lesson right now.
No, not that one.
$20 bucks is $20. $20 is $20. Right? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh no.
Moving on.
Becca just said that's cheap.
So she's saying that I'm the Temu of blowjobs now. Becca? Fucked up. All
Dollar
right.
General.
We are moving on now. Thank you. Open up for me. I'm in love with my cousin. Not what the dentist meant.
Wow.
Not what the dentist meant. Again, guys, stop banging your siblings. Cut it out. It's not right. I'll give you the stare again. It's disappointment and a little bit of, I'm a little turned on. Just saying. Next one. English test. Mom's toy. No, Jimmy, that's a cactus, bro. Jimmy, that's a cactus. I mean, she may have something similar, but that is, it's a pink cactus, so I could see where the kid got confused. It's definitely his mom's toy. I know it is. Well, no details. Next one. We'll move on. Wait a minute. Why is that in there twice? All right, we're not going back to that.
Because you do it. You're doing it. I know you're doing it.
We're not going back to me freaking Temu and blowjobs. Not happening. We're moving on. This right here is the hotel room that I back this. Sit on my face in rose petals. This, my friends, is romance. Again, learning. This is romance. Right here.
Are the snow boots? Get it?
Why would you not have? You don't use snow boots in bed? Doesn't everybody? Wait, what planet am I from? Holy shit! So there's like a bottle of liquor. Looks like some restraints, snow boots, lingerie, and I don't know what the thing is in the pillow. It could be. I don't know. We're analyzing this too much. Just sit on my face. That's it. I guess that's the message we're taking. We will go to. I keep losing my place. I'm getting so titillated. Focused. Whatever that word is. Her. We should spice things up in the bedroom. Me. Say no more. That looks like.
Fuck it with a bucket.
That right there looks like maybe 6 months of hospitalization and probably 6 more years of therapy. But hey, you want to spice things up. Swing for the fences, kid. Next one. I love this one. This could be us, but you won't do sex magic in the forest with me while praying to the ancient gods.
You got that from Liz, didn't you?
I don't know where it came from. I can't say. I don't divulge because people make it a little weird. She wouldn't for sure. She'd
that looks like something.
She's like, that's mine. That's mine. She would probably say that, but
that's something.
I don't remember where it came from, but that's obviously possible, clearly. But yeah, listen, You're into what you're into. I'll throw one of them masks on all day. Oh boy. This one scares me a little. See it. If she doesn't say things like grab my gut before you stick it in my butt, then she's not your favorite aunt. Guys. Hold on. That's the don't bang your siblings look. I keep giving it to you, but you keep throwing these. This is getting worse than when people kept throwing mom jokes up on Facebook. Let's hope there's not one of those in here. All right, next one. Women and beer are very similar. Both make you act like a fool, and some go down better than others.
Valid.
We talked about it. It is valid. It's facts. Just facts. Oh, I'm sorry. Were we doing a show? This thing's still on? Next. My best childhood memory was licking the drops of yogurt on my parents' bed just after they got out.
Oh, dude.
Maybe. Just maybe. Let's go to the outer realms of this thing. Maybe mom and dad are health nuts and they eat yogurt in bed. Maybe.
Nope.
Come on, bro. You got to help me out. And I don't want to think.
I got nothing for you there.
Oh, so it wasn't yogurt. It was brogurt. Oh, bro.
All
right, we got to redeem ourselves. Next one. This is one of the greatest pleasures in life, reading a book. If you see anything else, consult your psychologist. That's clearly reading a book, clearly.
Yeah.
You look at crossed legs, comfortable, book open.
Yeah.
I can't explain the look on the face, but I digress. We move on. Next one. Everybody's a freak until you meet a freak. Now you tied up with something in your butt, wondering how you got there on a Tuesday. I mean, that's at least 3 days a week for me. Next one, I think. Yeah, next one. What fucking school is this? What school is this that these kids are raising the flag at in the morning? What's going on? Who would name their university that? Is it like I can't even think of it, like University of Minnesota, Central University of Minnesota, or is it just a school where you learn how to come?
Yes.
I think we need more context on that one. We'll table that. We'll get back to that next meeting. Next one. Never bite the hand that fingers you, or whatever the saying is. That's, you know what? That's good information. That's good advice.
It is.
Never bite the hand that fingers you. I mean, unless requested and paid for. Oh boy, this one's. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more, guys. We're almost to the end. We're getting there. We almost went through 40 that fast. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. What does a condom and a coffin have in common? They both hold stiff, but one's coming and one's going. Seems to be a recurring theme on here is coming and going, right?
Yes.
Right. Let's. It's always bad when there's a pink donut involved. I'm just saying. Next one. Once again, my pink pucker surprise went untouched at the family picnic. Wasn't a donut, equally as bad. The old pink pucker surprise. I'd eat that all day. I'm just saying. I'd eat that all day.
Don't be a fucker or in the pucker.
And the pink pucker surprise too. What? Don't you back there. I heard you. Next one. I may not be the brightest candle on the cake, but you can still blow me. How's that? That's telling it like it is. You tell them. All right. You know what? This one right here is timely. This one looks safe. It's a nice, it's kind of like a comic theme thing. It fits in with the show tonight. I think we're going to have a decent one here. I think we're going to, let's try it. There we go. No low offers. I know what I got here. Fucking hell.
Oh, no. Ooh.
I thought we had something. I'm sorry. I thought we had something. Comic book themed. It was perfect, and you guys just beat it up. You dirtied up. We got 4 more, Myron. We're almost there, brother. We could see the light at the end of the finish.
Take us home, Fuzz.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Here we go. There is to be absolutely no masturbating while on the clock. All employees must clock out or masturbate on their own time. So my question is this, all right? Do you do it just at the urinal? Is there a little maybe in a shower enclosure you can hide behind? And the fact that they have to put a sign up for this,
yeah,
it's clearly a rampant problem.
That's a better question: is who the frick is jerking it in the workplace where everybody can see?
I know who's deplorable enough to do that. I've done it. I'll admit it. I've done it. Not saying which job, but I've done it. And on that note, Fifth Amendment, moving on. Anyone know what Pokemon this is?
Vibrapon.
That's simple. That's Clitosaurus.
Clitosaurus.
It's Clitosaurus. Absolutely. Who doesn't know that Pokemon? Gotta catch them all. All right, we got 2 more, and these look like they're, oh boy. These might be the cancelers. We'll see. This one, here we go. How can you tell if a girl is horny when you put your hand up her skirt and it feels like you're feeding a horse? Guys, what is going on out there? I mean, you're not wrong, technically, but... All right. So the last you posted that you guys posted and that I took off of Facebook, who loves to suspend me but doesn't suspend any of these. I don't get it. Last one. Here we go. Loyalty and orgasms. That's all she wants. I mean, exactly. I heard that and I'm with it. Nothing wrong with that. Loyalty and orgasm. I'm down for that too. Loyalty and orgasms, you know? That's it, bro. You survived through the obstacle course of you posted it. Dodged a bunch of dodgy, crazy stuff on there, but you made it. We talked about the book. We talked about your past lives. I mean, what else is there to do but sum it up, right?
Buy the book.
That's right. Buy the book or
buy advertising.
Or Clitosaurus is going to come get you.
And there's no safe word from Clitosaurus.
Or the pink pucker surprising to swallow you whole. One or the other. But yeah, guys, you guys will know as soon as we get the information, we're going to pass it on to you. When the book's available, we're still offering advertising in the book. We're definitely offering, if you guys want to get your name on the booster page or the tribute page, whatever we want to call it, you guys can, shout out to a friend, put yourself in the book, whatever. That's $10 on that page. And then if you want to be guaranteed into a story, you got to send the old $50 and Myron will take care of you for sure. Easy peasy, dude. I'm so excited about this, dude. You have no idea. It's taken on a life of its own. And I think, like you said, it's writing itself. And that's just absolutely fucking amazing. I love it.
Right on.
Love it, man. So, and listen, do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Plug your website, plug your Facebook page, Instagram, all that stuff so people can find you. Everybody that's listening right now, go to these pages and support. Like the page, follow the page, subscribe if it's YouTube. Do your thing. You guys know what you guys have your assignment. Myron, take it away.
So you can find me on Facebook under Psychofyre Productions, The Art of Myron Lauzon. I have a website, myronlauzon.com, which has all of my books. I have custom tarot cards on there. You can order commissions if you want. Talk to me. We can do whatever you're looking for me to draw up for you. On Instagram, it's Psychofyre_Productions. I did start a TikTok that I'm trying to commit to getting more content on there under Psychofyre Productions. I'm also on Twitter as @Myron Lauzon, trying to get more presence going on that too, to get all my socials up to speed. But really appreciate the support, appreciate the collaboration with Fuzz and all the other folks that I've worked with, and looking forward to see where this thing takes us, because it feels like it's a lot of fun so far.
So if somebody wanted a little bit of a riskier picture, can you, if they message you, can you get them in touch with
Marcel?
That's it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to forget his name.
I have a connection on that has an Instagram page that I can share with you privately if you'd like to, but I have somebody that does a little bit more of the
spicier stuff,
spicier or dirtier stuff that if a risque type stuff, if you're interested in that, either buying some or doing a commission for, it's a great, they're great gifts for people, your significant other. It's a very unique gift. This guy does some great stuff, and I would recommend, so connect with me privately, and I would be willing to share that information with you as well, for sure.
I think Misconstrued is still awake.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's all good, dude. It's all good.
So
that's it, man. We're good. The next time you guys will hear from us, maybe when the book comes out.
Yeah.
Feel free to stop by and listen, dude. Open door policy. Whenever you want to come on, you got something to promote, you want to just come hang out.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the band stuff pretty soon. We're working on an EP right now, so it'd love to come back on and share that stuff too.
I'm excited about that too. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's gonna be absolutely great. All right, guys. That's the end of the show. Myron, appreciate you, man. And don't go anywhere. Stay on here because we'll talk after the show. I just gotta kind of wrap up and then I'll be with you in a second, all right?
Sounds good.
Cool, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Myron Lauzon, please. All right. No, I'm in the wrong fucking studio. And see, I get so wrapped up. The wrong goddamn studio. We're not doing posts anymore. We're doing a rock show, baby. There we go. All right. That's it, guys. We are. This was a marathon today. 2 hours and 10. Holy crapola. That was a good one, though. Myron, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you, brother. Special thank you to all the sponsors of the show, Yin Yang Festival, Kings Inn, especially, all of them, Peace on Earth, and especially thank you to all of you guys who brought us to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm humbled by it. I'm very happy. There's only one thing that's making me happier these days, and that's a conversation for another time for sure. But we're done for this week, guys. I appreciate every one of you who showed some love. Shantae for the stars, appreciate that. And all you guys that support the show. You guys are amazing, unbelievable. And we'll see you at the fair tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Very excited. Oh, how are we leaving today? All right, we're gonna go with let's go Sopranos Exit. We'll see you guys next week, Thursday, 7 p.m., same time, same channel, right here on That Fuzzing Rock Show, thatfuzzingrockshow.com. Yeah, that's it. Take us away.
Why don't you get the fuck out of here? Come on. Get the fuck out. Go.
Come on, get the fuck out of here and stop wasting my time.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of town.
Get the fuck out of here.
Or I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get the fuck out of here before I shove your quotations book up your fat fucking ass? Get the fuck out of here.
Speech was made before the...
Now get the fuck out of here.
I'm back Yo, baby, you have your asshole licked by a